Hi, my name is Jacqueline. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm glad that you're here. Today we will warm our bodies up to prepare us for crow pose, Bakasana. It's an arm balance. So if you've done crow pose a lot, this will be a nice quick little way to get you up into flight. If you're new to crow pose, this will be a good introduction and will be great for those days when you want something a little bit more rigorous and challenging. Okay, let's get started in tabletop position. And know always if your wrists are feeling a little tender here at the beginning, you can go ahead and make fists, thumbs on the outside. Then inhale, drop your belly. And then exhale as you come into your cat pose. Press down through hands or knuckles. Broaden through your upper back. Breathe in between your shoulder blades. And then press down through your hands and out. As if you're trying to make your yoga mat a little bit wider. And just hold your cat pose for a little bit extra right now. And then inhale, drop your belly, cow. Nice release, exhale. Back to your cat and just hold it for a little bit. Press down and out. Breathe into your upper back. And then one more, inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Keep pressing down and out. Press down through your back, feet and shins. Find a little more lift through your upper back. And then release, inhale, drop your belly. Good. Extend your right leg long behind you. So engage your right buttock, feel your right hamstring turn on. And then exhale, knee to the outside of the arm, best you can. Inhale, extend long. And then exhale, knee towards the outside of your arm. One more, inhale, extend long. This time, knee comes to the outside of your arm and then step your right foot outside of your right pinky, heel down, toes off the mat. So your right front foot is at a 45-degree angle. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up, find a little rock back and forth. You can also bring your hands on blocks here. If you feel like you're really reaching and crunch down to bring your hands down. And then inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Open up and breathe. And then exhale, hands come down. Step back to your downward facing dog. This is the first one of this practice, so feel free to bend knees. Find movement in any organic way that feels right. You can bend your knees a lot to start. Reach through your arms and find length through your spine. And then bring your knees down back to tabletop. Inhale, left leg extends long, firm your left buttock. Engage the left hamstring and quad. And then exhale, knee towards the outside of your arm. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, bring it in. One more. Inhale, extend long. Exhale, as you bring the knee up, set your foot down, heel on the mat, toes off, 45-degree angle. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee up, find a little sway. Breathe, notice any sensations you feel here. And then inhale, lift your left hand up. Open up, you can look up towards your left fingertips. And then exhale, hand comes down. And step back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in and out your nose. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Maybe knees come down. And then we'll come into a chaturanga. So bend your elbows, come down about halfway. So the elbows are at about a 90-degree angle. Inhale up to either up dog or cobra, maybe low cobra, whatever feels right today. And then exhale, press back into your downward facing dog. Reach through your arms. as you relax the sides of your neck. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Heel-toe your feet together. Bring big toes to touch. Bend your knees a lot, as much as you need to. Press into your feet, long spine, rise up. Reach your arms up. And then interlace fingers, release your index finger and cross your thumbs. Stretch up nice and tall. Step your right foot forward, shift your weight forward, and then start to come down to our balancing stick pose. Nice strong arms, biceps squeezing, reach fingertips forward, and reach back through your back toes. And then inhale, lift torso up, back foot comes down, about 3 feet distance between your feet. Hands come down to your sides. Both feet are pressing down into the mat, back heel is grounded. And then bring your hands either to prayer position, behind your back, with palms together, or maybe knuckles together with thumbs together. Whatever feels best on your wrists. And then inhale, long spine, and start to extend forward. Still pressing into both feet. Legs nice and strong. Squeeze your quadriceps. And then inhale, rise back up. Release the wrist. Back foot steps up to meet your front. Big toes touch. Left arm under right. Coming into eagle arms, maybe back of hands together, maybe palms come together. Bend your knees, sit your hips down. Keep your right knee bent as your left knee lifts up, crosses the midline. And then find your Garudasana eagle pose. Either the toes come down to the ground, maybe they lift, maybe they wrap around the calf muscle, working to get toes, knees, elbows, hands in one line. Inhale, lift your left knee up, and then extend left leg back behind you for warrior 3 with eagle arms. Best you can. Keep your chest nice and broad, but feel that shift, the balance point of your right leg, and the part of you that goes forward and the part of you that goes back to keep the balance here. Good. Inhale, lift your torso up, big toes touch. And then arms come down to your sides. Bend your knees a lot as you fold forward at the hips. And then bend your knees and sit your hips down on your heels. Open your knees up and walk your hands forward. Find a little release, a little rounding of the upper back as you reach fingertips forward. And then walk your hands back in. Pull in through your abdominal muscles as you lift your hips up, and then heel-toe feet wide. Heels on the mat, toes off. And then sink your hips down. Maybe you come down to Malasana. Maybe you keep your hips lifted a little bit in order to keep your heels down. We're not going to be here very long. Just take one more breath in whatever squat works for you today. And then hands come down, lift your hips up. And your right foot, keep it where it is with heel on the mat, toes off, and then step your left foot back. Again to that lizard pose. This time back knee comes down. You can untuck the toes if that feels good for the back leg. Maybe forearms come down to either mat, or you can put your forearms on a block. If your forearms come down to mat or block, press down through the forearms. Find a little lift through your chest. And then breathe. Notice where you feel the sensations in this shape. And then press into your hands. Tuck your back toes and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Maybe knees come down. Find your chaturanga. Press down through the hands and press a little back through the hands. Inhale, lift up into your up dog or cobra. And then exhale, tuck your toes, hips back, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Once you get back there, heel toe your feet together. You can have a deep bend in the knees. Inhale, rise up, long spine. We come all the way up to stand. And interlace fingers, release your index finger and cross your thumbs. So right away here, lift up through the fingertips. And feel your nice strong arms, biceps right by ears. Left foot steps forward. Shift your weight forward. Find the balancing point on your left foot. And then start to come forward. So feel your torso coming forward and reach back through your back toes. Inhale, lift your torso up. Set your back foot down about 3 feet distance behind the front. Hands come down. Maybe you come to the prayer behind your back. Maybe knuckles touch and tips of your thumb touch. Stretch up, nice long spine, press through the feet. Strong legs, and start to tip your torso forward. You can even find the energetic pull back of the front heel to engage your front hamstring a little more. Take a full breath. And then lift your torso back up. Release the arms. Feet come together. Big toes touch. This time, right arm under left. Find your version of eagle arms, maybe back of hands come together or maybe palms wrap together. Bring elbows in line with shoulders. Squeeze your forearms together. Maybe fingertips come a little further away from your face. Bend your knees, send your hips back. This time, right leg lifts up. Cross the midline. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Right toes can come down to the ground for more grounding. Or maybe they lift up and you're working to wrap your toes around the calf muscle. Keep squeezing into the center line. Send your hips back. And then inhale, rise up, lift right knee up, and find warrior 3 with eagle arms. Take your time like you're moving through water. Extend the leg back behind you. Find the balancing point on your left foot this time. Nice strong leg, lifted back leg. You can have a little bend in your base leg, no problem. And then inhale, rise up. Bring your big toes to touch. Taking your time, release your arms. Deep bend in the knees as you forward fold. And then bend your knees even more, hips to heels. Knees open. Hands walk forward. Reach through your fingertips. And allow your torso to drape forward. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Pull in through your abdominal muscles. Send your hips up. And then heel toe feet wide. Heels on the mat, toes off. A 45-degree angle with the feet. And then send your hips down into whatever squat works for you today. Breathe in and out your nose. Hands come down. Left foot can stay where it is. Right foot goes back. This time back knee can come down. Good, and then maybe forearms come down. And again, if forearms come down, press forearms down into the mat. And breathe and notice the side may be a little bit different from your right side. Breathe into the sensations. And then hands press down. Press into your hands. Send your hips back and up. Find your downward facing dog. And then shift forward to your plank pose. Knees can always be down. Find your chaturanga. Inhale, rise up. Upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet in about halfway to your hands, bend your knees. And here we move into our Bakasana crow pose. Knees open wide. Reach your hands forward. So just as in Warrior 3, our balancing point was on our base leg, this time our balancing point is going to be on both of our hands. So we found that shift forward, trying to balance the weight forward and back in Warrior 3. We're going to use a similar concept here. So reach hands forward, press your hands into the mat, press the base of each finger down. And then lift your hips up and bring your knees toward your armpits. Bring them up on your arms as high as they go. And then here we find that shift forward. Start to shift forward. Gaze is forward, maybe towards the top of your mat. And then maybe the feet naturally lift up. You can find a little transition here. So hands reach forward, hips lift up, and you start to come forward, and then you come back. If you want to hold Bakasana crow pose for a while, and that's your practice today, go for it. Or if you're new or you just don't want to hold it, you can always find this little transition, this little rock back and forth, finding the balancing point of your hands. So keep going. A couple more times, just rocking forward. And don't even worry about the feet lifting up. If you rock forward enough and find that balancing point, they will just naturally lift up. Couple more tries, just playing and exploring. And when you shift forward, there's often a point that it gets a little scary, and that means you're in the right zone. Good, last little try here. Nice. And then hands walk forward, come back to downward facing dog. Reach through your arms and find length through your spine. And then bend your knees, hips on heels. Bring your legs around and roll down onto your back. Keep your heels underneath your knees. Press your feet down. Find length through your low back and then start to lift your hips up. Coming into a bridge pose. Maybe you walk your shoulders underneath and find a clasp. And clasp your hands underneath your body. Breathe in and out your nose. And then release your hips down. Option to extend right into Shavasana. Or if this is all the time you have, find your way up to a comfortable seat. And I hope you were able to find a little bit of a sense of play or flight, whatever you were looking for out of your practice today. If you're interested in learning more about ease, please sign up for my email, Ease Please. You can find the instructions to sign up in the description below. And if you have any comments or questions about today's practice, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, keep taking care of yourself.